Right now at 5, the Portage police officer accused of child abuse appears in court. How the judge set his bond.
And there's a nationwide shortage of homes. We'll speak with builders looking to add to the local market.
Plus, the Labor Day travel weekend, believe it or not, is approaching. Why some workers are hesitant to plan a trip. Thanks for joining us tonight on News 3 Now at 5, everybody. I'm Susan Simon.
And I'm Sarah Carlson. Eric Franke is off tonight. Well, cash bond has been set for the Portage police officer accused of abusing his 6-month-old son.
Cameron Coronado's bond is set at $10,000. He's charged with child abuse and disorderly conduct with a domestic abuse modifier. The criminal complaint alleges that he shoved a pacifier down his infant son's throat so hard it caused bleeding on the child's brain. As a condition of his bond, Coronado cannot have contact with his wife or children. A preliminary hearing is set in the case and set for September 3rd.
Now, if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic abuse, there are resources available. You can call the Domestic Abuse Intervention Services 24/7. That's a helpline. The number is right there. If you're not comfortable calling, please text them at that number on the bottom of your screen.
Today is the first day back to school for students at Abundant Life Christian School. In December, a student opened fire, killing a teacher, a student, and ultimately herself. And tomorrow, the father of the shooter will be back in court. Jeffrey Ruppnow is charged with 2 counts of intentionally selling a dangerous weapon to a person under 18 and contributing to the delinquency of a child. A criminal complaint alleges Ruppnow gave his daughter access to guns despite knowing about her mental health issues. Earlier this week, his attorneys requested to have that complaint dismissed.
Well, turning to weather now, it is an awfully nice stretch that's beginning.
Alex, is there any rain in the forecast that you see?
Just a little bit. wee bit here. It sticks out like a sore thumb here on Friday night. A stray shower, thunderstorm with a cold front that's going to bring us even cooler temperatures than what we've been experiencing the past couple days in the upper 70s. We're slowly getting rid of some of that humidity as well. But more on that cold front when I come back. I'll show you a projection of what that line of showers and storms may look like. In our big news, if you want to call this big news, and it can be, dense fog can be dangerous. Our visibilities as we approach midnight are going to start to go down. So we're going to have another night of dense fog possibility across southern Wisconsin. And as we plan our evening before that fog, temperatures in the 70s, clearing skies. We'll see those temperatures falling down into the upper 50s to the lower 60s. With the moisture we still have left in the ground, temperatures cooling down, clear skies. That's that recipe for fog. When you see me next, we're going to go through the future track visibility model to show you just how dense that fog could be tomorrow morning.
All right, Alex, thank you. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway has appointed a new city clerk. Linda McComas replaces Maribeth Witzel-Bale following an investigation where nearly 200 absentee ballots went uncounted in the November election. McComas previously worked as a voter engagement division manager with Hennepin County, Minnesota. Her first day at the city clerk's office will be September 29th.
The Republican-controlled Texas House is set to pass a new redistricting map today. The new map is designed to give Republicans 5 more seats in Congress. Democratic lawmakers tried to further delay the vote with parliamentary questions and amendments. And meanwhile, in California, Democratic lawmakers are moving ahead with new congressional maps of their own.
The constitutional amendment, along with the 2 companion bills, are a measured and thoughtful response to the power grab that is happening out of Washington, D.C.
Republicans in California are vowing to challenge the redistricting plans in court, as are the Democrats in Texas.
The CEO of Target is stepping down after 11 years at the helm of the retailer. Brian Cornell will leave Target February 1st. His departure comes as no surprise. Target has faced slumping sales for 3 straight quarters amid intense competition from Walmart, Amazon, and others. He will be replaced by Target's chief operating officer. And McDonald's is slashing the prices of its combo meals. The fast food chain says its most popular combo meals will be 15% less than the cost of buying the items separately. McDonald's hopes the move will draw back value-minded customers who were turned off by spending $10 or more on a fast food meal.
Well, if you're hoping to slip in a last-minute summer getaway during Labor Day weekend, you're not the only one banking on cheaper opportunities. Economic concern over tariffs and a softening labor market means more people are hesitant to book travel plans ahead of time, and airlines are also paring down on seats.
There has been hesitancy, and so with that, earlier in the year, airlines did actually adjust schedules. See, we're actually not seeing as we're not seeing as robust schedules as we had seen in previous years coming out of the pandemic.
Still, data from AAA projects the cost of domestic flights will be down 6% over the holiday. Gas prices will stay steady, and average hotel rates will be 11% lower than last year.
Well, we've been talking about it for a while, but today is the day. WISC-TV and Television Wisconsin have activated 2 new transmitters to help provide antenna viewers a clearer picture of our programming.
Yeah, so if you haven't done so already, you will need to rescan your TV to receive this improved signal. Eric Franke shares how the investment builds on our company legacy.
At more than 1,400 feet above Madison's far west side, WISC-TV broadcasts our over-the-air signal to homes all across southern Wisconsin. But for some, it's been tough to get that signal.
We realized through an analysis and an audit of who we were reaching across our entire viewing area that we needed to strengthen our signal.
WISC's Vice President and General Manager Scott Chastain says issues like pixelation and complete signal loss top the list of common problems that will soon be going away.
We want to reach as many of our viewers in southern Wisconsin as possible.
Morgan Murphy Media, the family-owned and operated parent company of News 3 Now, invested nearly $1 million to install 2 new broadcast antennas, one on Madison's far west side and another placed on a tower northwest of Janesville. Regional Director of Engineering Michael Strebe says due to a number of technical limitations, our existing signal wasn't getting to as many people as we would like. This is especially true for people who live in large apartment buildings.
They can't put an antenna on the roof, for an example, if you're in an apartment building. You have these little flat panel antennas. Those will pick us up a lot better with the UHF signals that are going through.
Viewers who watch News 3 Now and other CBS programming over the air can now rescan their TVs to pick up the new signals. Chastain believes the project to improve the signal builds our company legacy in southern Wisconsin and positions us to better serve you, our viewers.
It shows that we're investing in this community, and it shows that we're investing in keeping people informed and keeping people safe.
Eric Franke, News 3 Now.
And these improvements to our signal will only be noticed by viewers who watch us over the air. So if you watch WISC-TV on cable, satellite, or streaming, you won't need to make any changes at all. And to rescan your TV, you just have to open the menu, select Settings, and then choose Channel Scan or Auto Tune. We'll also post these instructions on our website, channel3000.com/rescan.
Ahead at 5, there are new recommendations for who should get the COVID vaccine.
And calling for a tax holiday to help with back-to-school shopping. How soon this could happen in Wisconsin and how likely it is to pass.
Plus, the Packers will be back at Lambeau Field to finish out the preseason this weekend. What we can expect from the Green and Gold's joint practice with the Seahawks.
And on Wall Street today, it was a mixed bag for the markets. The Dow up 16 points, the Nasdaq falls 142, and the S&P down by 15.5. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back, everyone. The American Academy of Pediatrics now says kids 6 months and older with no underlying health conditions may receive COVID-19 vaccines.
The updated recommendation contradicts Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Last week, he said COVID vaccines are no longer recommended for healthy children and pregnant women. It's the first time in decades the 2 organizations have offered conflicting vaccination guidance.
Children or infants really between the ages of 6 months and 2 years are those at highest risk for complications from COVID, whether that's hospitalization, ICU, because they have smaller airways, their immune systems are not fully developed.
The American Academy of Pediatrics also recommends a single dose of the COVID vaccine for at-risk kids and teenagers between the ages of 2 and 19. Well, it's not unusual for students to not look forward to getting out of bed and back to school. It's a tough transition.
Very true. But if they want to avoid the classroom on a regular basis, experts say something else may be at play. Pediatric psychologists say emotional distress may not look the same in children as it does adults. Warning signs signs may include tantrums or anger. There may also be physical symptoms like stomach aches and headaches, which could also be a mental health concern. Well, $144, that is the average cost for families per child for school supplies.
But Wisconsin lawmakers are proposing a way to make it a little easier with a tax holiday. Our Ellie La Liberté spoke to some parents to see if they think it'll help.
We got 1 pack of pencils and 1 notebook, so I think we're set for the year.
Jeff Sosika and his kids are just finishing up school supply shopping.
It's kind of a family tradition. We go out shopping with the kids, and it's kind of fun.
He says he spends about $150 on each kid.
I mean, every notebook is $5. We get a bunch of folders, pencils and sharpeners and everything else.
But this proposed legislation may cut down some of that cost.
We will not be alone if we do this in Wisconsin. 17 states already have sales tax holidays for back to school.
The 3-day tax holiday would suspend local and state sales tax for school items. It includes exemptions on clothes with a cap of $150 per item and school supplies with a cap at $100 per item.
And it's no secret that not every family can afford this annual bill. There's more that we can and must do to combat the challenges of rising costs.
But how much would this actually save you? Well, on average, families spend about $144 on school supplies per child. Wisconsin sales tax is 5% and Dane County sales tax is 0.5%. So if you're spending $144, you'd be saving just about $8.
I mean, every 5.5% is money in our pockets. So
For the Sosikas, it's worth it.
it would help everybody if we had a tax holiday to at least go back to school for.
Reporting in Madison, Ellie La Liberté, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Ellie. If passed, the earliest this legislation could be implemented is in August of next year.
Well, News 3 Now's Stuff the Bus drive may be over, but there's still plenty of work to be done. Volunteers have been sorting the donated supplies this week, and tomorrow they will start doling out the goods to families at Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County locations. Stop by with kids to get supplies while they last, tour clubs, and enjoy free food and games.
With the U.S. facing a shortage of roughly 4 million homes, many new and future homeowners are looking to build from the ground up.
And according to a new list from Realtor.com, the Madison metro area is a prime spot to do it. Not surprising. Arman Rahman spoke to a local builder to find out what he thinks of the national ranking. Arman, pretty unbelievable.
That's right, Susan and Sarah. Madison actually ranks number 6 among metros across the entire country. And you might be able to tell looking at the street here in Verona, those houses going up behind me, about 4 different builders have each started up a house here within the last month. And I spoke to one of them about what he thinks about that national ranking.
Within the last month, 6 or 7 houses were started on this one street.
I caught up with one of those builders, Jim Lampy of Dane Building Concepts, as he worked on this house across the street from the University Ridge Golf Course.
That's definitely a sign. There's been pent-up demand.
Lampy's been a builder in the Madison area for about 22 years. He says the shortage of homes for sale in Dane County make building more enticing.
A lot more people are coming to the table to want to build and not try to time the market.
Even though only 14% of homeowners in the county can afford the average cost of literally making a house a home, he says there are still neighborhood options in the area.
Higher end lots and a little more diverse layouts. And then there's some areas where the lots are more typical, less expensive.
Economists at Realtor.com say the costs should not cause you to write that idea off.
Especially in these top 10 metros we identified, the new homes are priced competitively with the existing homes.
Madison is the only Midwest metro to make its home among that top 10.
So one of the things that I noticed was that it's a lot of mid-sized cities like Madison and also a lot of college towns.
Besides the university, state government, we have good employers.
But economists say to truly excel this market, there needs to be less red tape.
It's really just about letting the market determine where the homes need to be built and letting the government kind of get out of the way, make permitting easier, make zoning less restrictive, and allow builders to build where demand is.
Lampy waited with a customer a few years to get a permit to build this house.
Some of the communities in Dane County are very easy to work with. Sometimes we have problems with like the city of Madison or city of Sun Prairie, where the permitting process is taking considerably longer.
But he says that hasn't stopped more people from making this street the site of their new home.
If you can't find what you want, sometimes that's the next step, is to just find something that you can plan with a builder.
And according to that economist from Realtor.com, while in the Midwest, building new is typically more expensive than buying an existing home in Madison, the new construction premium is actually pretty low, only an 11% difference between building new or buying an existing home. For now, reporting live in Verona, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
All right, Armand, thank you. Well, this stretch of nice weather will continue through the week, and by this time next week, it might be like sweater weather.
No, I don't mind that at all. All right. Alex, when will that cold temperature reach us?
Yeah, that cold weather is on the way by the time we get to Sunday and Monday to start off that next work week. Look at these high temperatures down into the upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. Keep in mind our low temperatures for many of these days and weeks have been in the upper 60s to the lower 70s. So all we're going to do for highs, that's going to feel fall-like. In fact, I've been mentioning this past couple of days, our temperatures as we go into that time frame will be more like September. We've got some other things that you need to know here as part of the three things. Patchy fog tonight and Thursday night. Some isolated storms are going to usher in that cooler and that lasting stretch of dry weather as we go further out into next week. But let's track future track visibility here, showing that as we approach the 6 o'clock hour tomorrow morning, we could have visibilities getting down as low as 0 to 1/8 of a mile in some locales, especially in those low-lying river valleys. So you really want to take that seriously. Fog can really sneak up on you and be very dangerous. You could be up at the top of the hill, you see down into the ravine, it looks a bit foggy, and you get down into it, and sometimes that visibility just goes to 0. And so you really should take that quite seriously. As we go into Thursday, right around noon, we see that fog burn off, but it may take a while for the clouds above to filter out as well. And then we repeat again Thursday night going on into Friday, just as we head into Friday morning at 6 o'clock. Perhaps the visibility is not quite as low as what we're planning on experiencing as we go into Thursday morning. So once again, take it easy the next 2 mornings here as we travel to work and to school in some cases. Just want to give yourself a little bit of extra time. Upper 50s to right around 60. That's that normal low temperature for this time of year. I haven't really said normal lately in our forecast, but we've got normal weather for high temperatures tomorrow. As we move on into Thursday, we'll be in the upper 70s to right around 80. It could stay in the mid 70s if those clouds hang on, if they're a little bit pesky on Thursday. Similar to today, they held on just a little bit too long for us to get up to near 80. But nonetheless, comfortable temperatures, comfortable humidity levels. There's that small chance of a thunderstorm as we go into Friday night and as we approach that cooler stretch with our highs, as mentioned, barely getting out of the 60s by the time we get into Sunday and Monday and staying pleasantly cool all the way through the 10-day forecast. There's that rain chance. It sticks out there pretty clearly. Friday night, a stray shower to perhaps a scattered thunderstorm or two. And what that looks like, here's 10 o'clock Friday night, an area of showers, maybe a couple thunderstorms up towards Richland Center, Viroqua, Camp Douglas, and watch what happens as we go into the night. That sweeps through pretty quickly. I expect that line to likely be weakening. We'll be losing the heat of the day, not expecting any widespread severe weather, perhaps some lightning, some gusty winds, and small hail with that cold front. And that cold front is what's going to usher in the cold temperatures as we head towards Sunday going into Monday. And as promised, pretty much always when I do my 5 o'clock weather, here's a viewer photo from Dodgeville showing us today that mix of the clouds. And if you look at the top of the picture, there's the sun. All you have to do if you're sitting at home, scan that QR code right now in the upper left-hand part of the screen. That's going to link you up to our portal of weather photos, which you can see on channel3000.com/weather. And then we could take those photos and show them on air. That's a pretty one. It shows the day today. Clouds and a little bit of sun after that morning fog. And I think tomorrow is going to be a repeat of what we saw today.
All right, thanks, Alex.
Coming up next on News 3 Now at 5, the Packers will face off against the Seattle Seahawks this weekend. Who to keep an eye out for while the teams practice tomorrow. We'll be
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Well, the Packers are getting ready to face off against the Seattle Seahawks at Lambeau Field this weekend. But before the final preseason game, the two teams are going to have a joint practice.
That's always interesting. Packers senior writer Jason Wilde has more on who to watch during the drills.
No practice for the Packers today. They did some walkthrough work instead without the media. I'm not sure how they managed to do that without us. But if you're coming up for the final practice of training camp, a joint session with the Seattle Seahawks tomorrow, make sure you keep your eye on number 22. That is Packers first-round pick Matthew Golden, who, admittedly, 22 is not a typical wide receiver number, but then again, he's not your typical wide receiver or your typical first-round pick. He has come in to this team and been impressive from the jump. He's had a great training camp, and now with training camp winding down, his plan is to parlay that into a strong start to his rookie season, which begins on September 7th against the Detroit Lions at Lambeau Field and on Channel 3. We'll have full coverage of the joint practice tomorrow, plus everything Packers at channel3000.com. And don't forget, while you're there, to sign up for our newsletter so you can get our Packers coverage delivered directly to your inbox every single day. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Jason. And a reminder, that final preseason game is this Saturday at Lambeau Field. The Packers take on the Seahawks with kickoff set for 3 p.m.
And Alex is back with a final check of the weather when we come back.
You want to keep an eye out for some fog tonight and tomorrow morning.
Yeah, fog can really catch up on you. If you're up on a hill and then you go down into a ravine and that fog becomes dense, and our future track visibility model showing that we could have fog or visibility down to 0 in some cases in the Wisconsin River Valley, you really want to take that seriously. Take it slow on your way to work and in some cases school. And that will burn off quickly again Thursday, but we'll repeat that all over again Thursday night. At least we got mild temperatures right around 60. That's nice. Give the AC a break, and then highs in the 70s after we burn that fog off tomorrow. And at 6, I will let you know more about where we stand precip-wise in the area.
Okay.
Right. Thanks, Alex. And thanks for watching News 3 Now at 5. CBS Evening News is up next.
We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. You can catch us 24/7 streaming on Channel 3000+.